Morning, even afternoon. We got a banger for y'all today, baby. We got some more food reaction to Josh here. I've reacted to a couple of his videos in the past, and I'll be sure the editing team puts his YouTube down there. Be sure to check him out. These videos are unreal. He makes a 350-hour pizza. Unbelievable. By the end of this, my mouth was watering. I'm sure y'all are gonna love this, and when you do, hit the like button, hit the sub button. Most importantly, be sure to tell somebody you love them. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. Well, we got Josh here again, and this time he's making a 350-hour pizza. And I gotta tell you, pizza's my favorite. That is, if I could pick one thing to eat the rest of my life, it's probably pizza.
You go and you order a
I have high hopes for this video, I'll say that.
pizza. Gets delivered in 30 minutes or less. That's great. But what you don't know
sometimes
is that
30.
It took 24 hours to make, most likely. And it is that 24 hours that makes it good. So if the majority of that time is just the dough resting in the fridge, then what about all the other components? The sauce, the cheese, the meat, all the little things that go on the pizza that make it great. What happens if we take a pizza and stretch the time over the course of over 300 hours?
I'm in.
Work? Does that make it better? Is it worth it? That's what we're here to find out today. So with all that
I'm ready, Josh. Take me on this journey.
Oh, whoa, video's not done yet, but the book is Texture Over Taste, available for pre-order now. The link is in the description. Please pre-order. It's very important
buy
for
Josh's
the
book.
pre-order phase. It's really, really helpful for me. It's really helpful for the team, and it's helpful for the book. Link in the description. You might be thinking,
I'll say, I'm not, maybe I should buy a book like what Josh has, because I can grill, right? That's about the extent of what I know, but like, just even looking at this pizza that he has right here, I could go nowhere near trying to make this. So
how in the world could we make a pizza that takes over 350 hours
that
to make?
looks
Well, as a matter of fact, this pizza is closer to nearly
unbelievable.
70 hours. Let's begin. There's no pizza with no toppings, so let's start with Daddy's meat. I wanted an Italian-inspired bacon that wasn't pancetta, so homemade porchetta-infused bacon.
Oh my God.
Pork belly. Around 4.5 pounds or 2 kilos of it. Ideally, you want skin on, but skin off is fine too. In a small bowl, combine exactly 45 grams of salt, 30 grams of dark brown sugar, and 5 grams of Prague powder #1, which is our curing agent. No matter what, please weigh your curing salt. It's a dangerous product if not used properly, but a necessity for the curing. Plus, you're gonna
I've always said, I wonder if people remake
mix all that
these,
together,
you know,
season your
like
pork
try to
all
make
over with
what
your
Josh
curing.
made
Try to
here.
get as much of it to stick as possible. Pop that bad boy into a large
I could never.
gallon-sized
I'm
bag,
too
close it
stupid.
shut. Do not forget to put your date on the bag. It's for safety. And placed in the fridge for 6 to 7 days. Mine was done curing at around day 6. That puts us at 144 hours.
Wow.
Now, once it's nice and firm like this, take it out, hose your hog off, make a porchetta seasoning by finely chopping a 1/4 cup or 12 grams of fresh thyme leaves, a 1/4 cup or 11 grams of fresh rosemary leaves, but not the stems. Separately crush it, 4 cloves of garlic, add a generous pinch of salt to the garlic to help break it down a bit better, and finally chop the garlic, toss it together, follow it with the zest of 1 orange, finally chop that in there, add a 1/2 teaspoon or 1 gram of red pepper flakes. Then add 1/2 teaspoon or 1 gram of ground nutmeg. Now use all that to season the pork on every single surface.
I didn't see nutmeg coming there. I can't lie.
Or in oven, that's totally fine. Until it reaches an internal temperature of about 164.
Now we're talking.
About 4 to 5 hours. Then remove and chill in the fridge for at least 6 to 12 hours. Now with all that, we're totaled at around 160
Oh my God.
hours for our bacon. Once it's been chilled,
It's
it's ready
160
use.
hours
Moving
for
on to our
bacon?
sauce. For everyone who asked for Fermentation Friday to come back, this little moment right here is for you. It's actually for everyone because it's one of the finest pizza sauces I've ever made. First, you need about a 3-quart container. It could be a deli like this or a very large jar. To that, you're gonna add 1,000 grams of water and 20 grams of kosher salt. Look, we're using grams, so we have an exact.
How's he fermenting something to make? So he's doing, he's doing a fermented sauce.
Until
Okay.
dissolved, then add 5 quartered heirloom tomatoes, 5 red long peppers, stemmed and cut in half. I'm pretty sure that's what these are called, but I'll be honest, I don't really know. You could use 3 red jalapenos, 3 red Fresno chilies, you know, work with what you got. Just expect spice levels to undulate. 3 cloves of whole garlic, and here's a little trick. Adhere a layer of plastic.
What was that word? I don't even know what that word means,
It's a little
bro.
trick. Adhere a layer of plastic wrap on top to keep the water tension above the vegetables. That's fancy talk for keep the veggies submerged. Wait, these are fruit?
Did I not rewind far enough?
Chilies, you know, work with what you got. Just expect spice levels to undulate.
Undulate. I'm an idiot.
3 cloves of whole garlic.
I have no idea
Adhere a
what
layer
that
of
word.
plastic
I'm
wrap
gonna
on
look it
top
up,
to
bro.
keep the water tension above
Undulate?
the vegetables. That's fancy talk for keep
Move
the veggies submerged. Wait,
or
these
go.
Are fruit? Are chilies a fruit? Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So
Wait.
are the tomatoes.
What are the odds that he was Googling something when I was? What the frick? Okay.
A few moments later.
Move or go with a smooth up and down motion. Undulate? What is an example of undulate? If something is in a wavy pattern, like the wind. Okay. I've Googled it and I still have no fucking idea.
We're making a little garlic fruit sauce. Anyway, you may need to add a lightweight, such as a small container filled with a little bit of water to keep them submerged. Now top with cheesecloth, use a piece of kitchen twine to adhere, to tie it on, and this is the most important step of all time. Please label with today's date. Okay, you're letting this sit out for 5 full days. You need to know wait a minute, what was the day that I did this? Yeah, exactly. You gotta remember. Now, after 5 days, we have officially added another 120 hours to our time, putting us at a grand total of 280 hours out of our 350-hour plus trek.
It's crazy to think this is 280 hours and it's the meat and the sauce right now.
No longer tomatoes. Well, actually, they are, but they're just lacto fermented, which has brought out more flavors. Now, the making of the sauce is easy. Fish out all the solids from your ferment, pop it into a blender, and start blending on high speed. Add 2 tablespoons or 25 grams of extra virgin olive oil and 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. Blend that all together till as smooth as possible. Taste and adjust salt if needed, and well, that's it. You want to preserve the flavors.
That looks really good.
We blast them in our oven. Shout out to my boys at Gosney. Let's talk dough. One of the most requested bread recipes of mine is a sourdough pizza, and well, Papa is here to give you a gift. This sourdough pizza dough. In order to make the sourdough,
that looks unreal, bro.
Fully matured sourdough starter. That means feed it and let it sit for 24 hours at room temperature, and then you can use it. So now we're at 304 hours. Once your starter is mature, get a large bowl and add 504.
I'm just gonna pause and say I'm curious how he gets, like, right now it's like the dough, the meat, the sauce, right? But he still gets another what? 40 some odd hours?
40 grams of water at 95 Fahrenheit. Yes, we got to use grams here. Look, I go to pizza.
It's got to come in with the cheese, right?
The Italian homies watching. Now add 2 grams of instant yeast and 40 grams of mature sourdough starter. Mix that by hand until incorporated, and then mix in 16 grams of fine sea salt. No, it doesn't kill the yeast. The yeast is just fine. Okay, the salt's just going to slow the fermentation slightly, which we want. Mix that by hand. Now follow that with 800 grams of double O tipo flour. That's just a special Italian pizza flour. You can find it at many grocery stores. Whole Foods has it. And 25 grams of whole wheat flour. Mix that bad boy for about a minute or until you get a shaggy dough, and then knead for 3 to 4 more minutes or until it begins to turn.
Maybe he lets this sit
it'll start sticky, but then as you knead, it'll become nice and supple.
I don't know how bread works. You gotta leave it, right?
With extra virgin olive oil, swirl your ball to coat. Now cover that with plastic wrap, pop it in the fridge for 14 hours to rise, which puts us at 318 hours.
Even still.
But we've still got a long way to go until we get to over 350. Now once your dough has risen in the fridge, take that bad boy out, divide it evenly into 5 pieces, around 250 grams each. Generously dust a proofing container or a sheet tray with flour. Shape your pieces of dough into doit balls. Place evenly spaced apart. Nice. Cover with the lid or greased plastic wrap and proof for 6 hours at room temperature. Now we stand at 324 hours. Now at this point, once there's 25 hours, move on. So let's finish up our toppings. Now, although we're putting Mezzi mozzarella here, I thought we need a little something more special in conjunction with that ricotta. In a medium sauce pot, add
he makes his own ricotta. Okay, this has got to be where the hours come in.
3/4 of a liter of milk. Heat that bad boy to exactly 180 Fahrenheit.
I would just go to the store.
Gently stir in a quarter cup of 60 milliliters of lemon juice. Let that cook and sit at that 180 Fahrenheit temperature, stirring occasionally for 40 minutes. Now cut off the heat, let that cool slightly, then ladle into a fine mesh sieve lined with cheesecloth. Set over a container or a large bowl to catch the drainage. Once that's drained for about 5 minutes, grab all the edges of your cheesecloth, wrap together, and tie it shut with kitchen twine, leaving a little bit of length to the twine so you can then wrap that around the handle of a cabinet and let it hang over a bowl. Then you just let it drip for 1 to 1.5 hours, which puts you roughly at around 2 hours total for your ricotta. So that leaves us at 326 hours.
I had no idea how to make ricotta or like how they make it until right then. I had no idea.
We have some way to go to get to 300.
I know, I like it.
Mind you, I'm not including cook time whatsoever because, well, there's not that much cook time at all. So we're pretty much ready to assemble. First, get yourself about 1 cup or 8 ounces or 225 grams of your bacon cut into half-inch cubes. Place it in a 10-inch skillet.
That bacon looks unreal.
Stirring often for 5 to 7 minutes or until almost.
Oh my gosh, bro. That bacon alone.
With a bit less color.
Looks
if
fantastic.
you cook it all the way through, then it's probably going to burn when you bake it. Drain through a fine mesh strainer, and it's done. Again, that time I'm not even counting. Now, to assemble and bake, dust your proofed balls with all-purpose flour. Dust a work surface also with all-purpose flour. Add a ball to your work surface, and then using a fist, punch down the center to get.
I love Josh's editing. I've said that in the last videos I've reacted to of him, but
At that
super well
point,
done.
keep the dough around your closed fist and gently rotate around the perimeter to lightly stretch it, letting gravity do the work for you until you get it about 10 inches wide. At that point, stretch it a bit with your hands on the board, flouring as needed until you get in an 11 to 12 inch circle. Add a nice quarter cup or 60 mils of your sauce in the center, then using a swirling motion, spread the sauce evenly across using the bottom of a ladle or a spoon, leaving the crust bare. Whoa, hold on. You remember your ricotta that you've been draining? Take it out the cheesecloth, put into a bowl, poke a hole in the center to break it up, add salt to taste, stir it up, and well, taste it to make sure it has enough salt. Top with a heaping teaspoon of randomized caramelized dots of your ricotta all over the pizza. Add some fresh grated, low moisture mozzarella to your heart's desire. Look, you're gonna need at least 3 cups or 675 grams if you want these pizzas cheesy, all right? That's
Hell yeah.
spread across all the pizzas, for the record. Now,
I agree.
distribute some of your cooked bacon, a nice drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, and off into the oven. Look, when baking, my recommendation, of course, is a good quality home pizza oven. If you want it perfect, I use and highly recommend Gosney. Seriously, everyone always asks how I get my pizza the way they are. I'm using a Gosney.
I should get a pizza oven.
A home oven is always a viable option. It's not going to be the same, but if you do that with a pizza stone, then you can still have some decent pizza. Anyway, I popped the pizza. In the pizza oven at around 700 to 750 degrees Fahrenheit for 50 seconds.
It gets to 700 degrees in there? Dude, I feel inspired. I think I'm gonna get a pizza oven.
We're gonna spend.
I'm gonna try and make a
hundreds
pizza.
of hours on this pizza just to cook it in 50 seconds. What in tarnation? Now, after the first 25 seconds, I half rotated to get the color on the other
I
side
love
of the crust, and let it bake for
the
another
edge of that
25 to
crust,
30
like how much
seconds.
char he
Wow.
has on there. I love that personally.
Beauty. It's almost like it's staring back at me, doing a little dance for me. Now, place it on your counter and feel free to add some fresh herbs like fresh basil, fresh parsley, maybe some lemon zest. Whoa, what's that being brushed on the crust? Is that a garlic butter? Wait a minute. That is the trick up my sleeve.
That's where it came
Homemade
in.
Cultured butter with garlic. So yes, quite literally get yourself a quart-sized container, add 1 pint or 500 mils of heavy whipping cream, add in a quarter cup or 125 milliliters of buttermilk, stir that 7 times exactly. And what did I say before? Remember, always label a ferment unless you want me to show up and give you a little spanking, all right? I know some of you want that. Get your mind out of the gutter, all right?
God.
Cover with cheesecloth at room temp. Use a piece of kitchen twine to tie it on and let it sit for 36 hours. After that, you now have
Got
creme
it.
fraiche, which, by the way, looks so beautiful, I almost didn't want to do what came next. So throw it into a food processor and process on high until everything separates and you're left with, well, butter and liquid. Pour out that excess liquid, knead your butter with gloves on to squeeze out as much liquid from the butter as you can. I like to wash mine a few times in ice water as I'm doing that. Then once you've pretty much drained your butter as much as possible, plop that into a bowl, add a touch of salt to taste, 4 cloves of garlic grated, then mix together with either a whisk or gloves until thoroughly incorporated. At that point, you just heat that.
That's where the extra time came in, Timmy. I didn't see that coming.
And as you saw, brush on the crust.
That looks
One of the
fantastic,
most
though. My God,
time-intensive
bro.
pizzas I have ever made. Which, after adding that butter, leaves us with a grand
is it worth it,
final
Josh?
total
Tell me.
of over 365 hours of commitment time. Let's just hope that it was worth it.
Pizza. It took a very long time, and it smells very good. That is a good pizza. The dough is way more flavorful. I don't care if you do your dough overnight. With the sourdough, it's not sour at all, and it actually tastes like something. There's good pizza dough, and then there's this dough. It's just more. The ricotta, I guess you could buy from a store, right? And it'll probably still be just as good. The butter crust, making your own cultured butter, it's good, but probably just buying cultured butter and it's gonna be just as good. That being said, this sauce, there's nothing that could ever replace this. So to me, the pizza's worth it. Is it worth it to everybody? Maybe not, but at least try this. This is the most life-changing pizza sauce you may ever
That
put
sauce
on
looks
a pizza,
fantastic.
period. Of course, the bacon is ridiculous. And there's no way you're gonna get this bacon at the store without making it. I'll call that a worth it. Should we bring in a taste tester?
I have this lovely pizza for you.
Oh, it's evolving as I'm eating it.
Yeah. At first, it's like, oh, this isn't normal pizza.
It's like at first it hits you and you're like, okay, tomato, ricotta, good dough, and then the sauce hits you. And then there's more flavor that just keeps coming.
Is this worth making for 300 hours?
Yes. Would I do it? No. But I would watch you, and did.
Dude, Josh, man. What the? Oh my God. Look at the end of this, bro. What the? I don't know. I feel like buying Josh's cookbook right now.